What if the dog who chose you was also the one who came to heal you? Welcome to The Dog Who Asked for More, the podcast helping dog parents who feel stuck and overwhelmed by their pup finally let go of the guilt, learn to communicate clearly, and build the bond you've always dreamed of through a partnership-based approach that combines training, nutrition, and enrichment instead of chasing the quick fixes that don't actually work. Hi, I'm Em, and in this episode, you'll learn why every rescue dog writes a different story and how each one changes us. How Toby taught me to trust myself again after trauma, grief, and guilt, and what long-term commitment really looks like when your dog has opinions, baggage, and a whole lot of heart. This week's Answering the Ask is a story about Toby. If you're new here, Answering the Ask is the moment in each episode where we slow down and look at what our dogs might be asking for through their behavior, body language, or just quiet needs. I adopted Toby 12 years ago on November 5th, 2013. After walking into a shelter to meet a different dog, I wasn't expecting to find him, and I wasn't prepared to walk away either. Toby had been used as a bait dog. He had a broken jaw, a broken hip. He was emaciated, terrified, and scheduled for euthanasia. When I sat down outside his kennel, he didn't move. He growled, he barked, he snapped, and went deeper into the back corner. I just stayed there at the kennel gate, quiet and still. And after about 45 minutes, he slowly made his way over to me and pressed his head into my hand. That was it. That was the moment. I asked if I could take him into the quiet room, and within minutes, he curled up in my lap and fell asleep. He never looked back, and neither did I. Toby didn't ask for more with his voice. He asked by surviving, by trying even after everything he went through, by walking toward me, trembling but brave, by curling up in my lap and releasing a sigh that said, "Please, let this be it." I didn't adopt Toby because I was ready. I adopted him because I knew deep down I was running out of time with Cajun. And when Cajun died less than a year later on July 14th, 2014, it shattered me. If it hadn't been for Toby, I don't know when I would have opened my heart to another dog again. It was still 3.5 years before I brought Fitz home. But Toby was already there, steady, spunky, and stubborn, all in the ways that I needed. He didn't need a perfect trainer. He needed someone who would choose him every single day. And I did. That moment in the quiet room where he finally let himself rest, it wasn't just a nap. It was his ask. Please don't hurt me. Please don't leave me. Please let this be a place I can stay. And for the last 12 years, I've done everything I can to answer that ask. I have had 6 dogs as an adult. 4 of them were rescues, and each one taught me something totally different. But Toby, he's been with me the longest, and the lessons have run the deepest. He came into my life at a time when I didn't fully trust myself. Fresh out of divorce, still recovering from brain surgery, learning to live with disability, carrying guilt I couldn't name, and trauma I had not processed yet. Toby didn't magically fix those things, but he created space for healing in a way no human ever could have. He taught me to stop proving my worth through chaos, to stop begging for validation from people who didn't respect my boundaries. He taught me that rest is not laziness, that opinionated, sensitive dogs often see us the most clearly. And when someone trusts you enough to sleep in your lap, you better earn that trust every single day. Toby is also a reactive dog. But unlike Fitz, whose reactivity is rooted in fear and overstimulation, Toby's reactivity has always been sharper, more guarded, more bite first, ask questions later. He's taught me so much about boundaries, about saying no, about recognizing when a dog doesn't want to interact and being okay with that. He doesn't need everyone to love him, and neither do I. Toby doesn't care about going viral. He wants food, space, a warm blanket, and someone who gets him. And that someone has always been me. This week's homework for humans is very simple. If you've rescued a dog, whether recently or years ago, take a moment to reflect on what they've taught you. What's one belief that they challenged? One fear that they softened? One boundary that they helped you draw? And if your rescue story hasn't been easy, that's okay. Remember, the hardest journeys are the most transformative. And if you want to share your story or talk about it, you can always message me at m_lovesdogs on Instagram. So today we celebrated 12 years with Toby. We talked about what rescue really means, not just saving a dog's life, but letting that dog change yours. We talked about trust, boundaries, reactivity, grief, healing, and the quiet power of showing up for each other day after day. Toby's story isn't perfect, but it's honest. And it's ours. If you're in the thick of it with your own dog, rescue or not, I want you to remember this. Time changes things. Safety changes things. Love changes things. And when you listen for the ask, you'll start seeing everything differently. So remember, be kind, spread joy, and keep in mind, the best dogs don't always come with easy, but they're always worth it. Happy Gotcha Day, Toby. If you've been feeling like no one really understands what you're going through with your dog, it can feel really isolating and heavy carrying all that weight by yourself day after day. That's why I created a free community, a safe space where you can share the hard stuff, get support, and be surrounded by people who truly get it. You'll find the link in the show notes. Thanks for listening to The Dog Who Asked for More. New episodes drop every Monday and Wednesday. I'll see you next time.